This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life. The team has to step in quickly when Ben's meeting with alpha male Hananya goes wrong.
He's the alpha male, he's very strong, he's capable of doing a lot of damage very, very quickly, so it's an anxious time for everybody.
Orang-utan Hsiao-Quai struggles with her ever-growing son, Kai. And as Kai grows up, the park prepares to welcome another orang into the world.
Here we've got a good girl. There's little swellings there. Say that she's pregnant. And they really are foolproof, 100%. She's got the swellings, she's pregnant.
Every primate living at Monkey World forms part of a strict hierarchy within their family group. This way, everyone knows their place. But when you're new to a family, it can be difficult finding out where you fit in. Hananya's troop have recently been joined by infants Ben and Pip, who moved in from the chimp nursery just over a week ago. At 6 years old, it was definitely time they joined an adult group, and the pair are settling in very well.
We've actually been really impressed with Ben and Pip. They've been brilliant. They seem to be very resilient, very, very good in the initial introductions. Ben, a little bit more wary than Pip, but I think that's to be expected. But they've got some friends in their small group now. They've been moving really well through the house, which is always a very good way to gauge how comfortable they feel in the new surroundings.
Today, Ben and Pip are about to face their biggest challenge, meeting alpha male Hananya.
It's obviously difficult to gauge the best time to put the alpha male in, but he's obviously very aware that there are new members in the house, so I think really sooner rather than later is always the way to go.
Hananya has been separated from the rest of the group and can hear Ben and Pip next door. He has no idea what's about to happen and is clearly anxious.
It's difficult to say how Hananya's going to go. We're hoping that he has matured. We obviously do everything we can to hold him back in a very positive way and keep him very relaxed prior to going in so that we have as much of a head start as possible. But obviously he's the alpha male, he's very strong, he's capable of doing a lot of damage very, very quickly, so it's an anxious time and a nervous time for everybody.
The team hopes Hananya will show his dominance without being too aggressive. As a female, he won't see Pip as a threat, so there's not much risk of attack. But for Ben, things could be a lot more dangerous.
With a young male, it's going to be difficult because obviously Hananya will have to put Ben in his place. He has to show that he's alpha male and that Ben will be right down the bottom of the ladder. So it's very different between males and females, and it's difficult to know really whether Pip will be a useful distraction or whether Hananya will feel that he has more reason to be competitive with Ben because of Pip's presence.
All chimp meetings are a tense time, but alpha male introductions are particularly stressful. Hananya enters and immediately makes his presence known. The group instantly show respect to their leader. This is the first time Ben and Pip have seen such a large male, and although they must be extremely nervous, it's vital that they behave correctly. Pip does the right thing by following Hananya and going forward to greet him. She is totally submissive. Ben does nothing to offend Hananya and stays well out of the way, allowing the alpha male to assess the situation. Then, suddenly, despite Ben's good behaviour, Hananya targets him. The team don't want to take any risks, so we immediately stop the introduction by firing harmless CO2 gas as a distraction. Although this chimp behaviour looks violent, it is natural for Hananya to display at Ben and let him know who's boss. Even though the attack was brief, chimps have very sharp teeth and can do a lot of damage. So Ben must be separated from the group to see if he's got through the ordeal unscathed. Later, Ben is in need of urgent medical attention. And Hsiao-Quai enjoys some quality time with her son, Kai. Unlike Ben and Pip, who were rejected by their mothers, young chimp Bart was born into Paddy's troop and has stayed there in a happy, healthy relationship with his mum, Susie. For the past 16 months, Bart has clung onto his mum for food and protection and behaved exactly as a young chimp would in the wild. Baby chimps have an extremely close relationship with their mothers and will nurse for about 5 years and stay in close contact even after weaning. Bart is Susie's second child. Her first, Eddie, was a temperamental and slightly spoilt youngster. Nobody knew how she would react to having a new baby brother around. But to everybody's surprise, she's turned out to be a caring and thoughtful big sister. And there's no mistaking the family resemblance. When Eddie was born, Monkey World staff were amazed at her oversized ears and thought them a one-off. Then, when Bart came along, they realised that the look was just in the genes. Eddie seems to be growing into her ears with age, so maybe Bart won't look so distinctive in the years to come. Bart is so content in his family group that even Dad Paddy's occasional dominance displays don't faze him, especially as he knows that Mum Susie is around to make sure he's okay. He's happy and secure in the heart of a loving family.
Yeah.
Back at Hananya's, Ben has been separated from the group after his initial clash with the alpha male.
The introduction didn't go terribly well with Hananya. Ben has got a wound on his arm. It looks pretty bad, but he is using his arm quite well. But at the moment, we just got to go in and assess.
Introductions between an alpha male and another male are always difficult, and Hananya is still fired up from the meeting.
I think we all expected Hananya certainly to display and certainly make some contact with Ben. He's the alpha male. He can be quite temperamental, Hananya, and does have quite a short patience span. So if he had thrown him around a bit, obviously that would have been preferable to actually making contact and biting Ben. We were hopeful that it would last longer and we were able to finish it on more of a positive note, but unfortunately that wasn't the case.
What you like, eh? Go playing with those big boys. I told you about playing with the big boys before. Yes, I did. I told you about playing with big boys like that.
Jeremy hand-reared Ben, so Ben feels comfortable enough to let Jeremy inspect his wounds.
You see one? You see one? Let's have a look. Let's hold it up there. Yeah, that actually is into the muscle.
Ben's wound looks serious, but like most wild animals, chimps are very good at masking pain, as showing any sign of weakness could make them a potential target.
Actually, it's remarkable, totally remarkable after that beating that he's just had. Look at him. Well hard, aren't you, Ben?
Good boy, Ben.
Yeah. If you had a wound a fraction of this size, you would milk it and you would groan and you would moan, capitalising all the attention and sympathy, whereas chimps just don't do that. I mean, everything's still working. He doesn't have any tendon damage because his hands are working. The muscular damage is minimal. His muscles are all working. It's just humans are particularly soft and weak, and it really is that simple.
As a precaution, Pip has also been separated from the group and will be reunited with Ben as soon as he's taken care of. Pip and Hananya's introduction couldn't have gone better. She behaved perfectly by respecting the alpha male and he readily accepted her.
She's got this force field round her. Haven't you? There's a force field round you in the Pippin.
Monkey World's vet, Femke, has examined Ben and is happy that they try to glue the wound together. Surprisingly, ordinary superglue is a safe and effective alternative to anaesthetic and stitches.
All right, are we ready?
But getting the glue onto Ben is going to be a challenge.
Don't stick your lips there. I don't want your face stuck to your arm. That's not a good idea. Actually, I'm the wrong person for this job because I can't do it. I can weld things, I can nail things, I can nut and bolt things, I can rivet things, but me and glue don't usually get on well together. I usually end up just sticking myself to something rather than what I'm trying to stick. That hasn't happened. Didn't hold it tight enough together. He wasn't quite ready. We'll work on him a bit longer.
When it comes to the animals, Jeremy has the patience of a saint.
You're not a bad little lad, really, are you?
And eventually has a go at sealing the wound.
See, we can fix him. We can make him as good as new. A new Ben.
But despite Jeremy's best efforts, Ben refuses to let him glue the wound, and it's clear from his behaviour that he's still in pain. Worse still, he now realises what Jeremy's trying to do and isn't happy about it.
Come back here.
But Jeremy's not going to give up just yet. The 13 orangutans at Monkey World live in 3 separate families. Over in Gordon's gang, Hsiao-Quai, and her son, Kai, are together as usual. Kai is a typical kid who loves playing and exploring. But he also likes spending time with his mum. The orangutans at the park are part of the European Endangered Species breeding programme, and Hsiao-Quai and Kai have been the first mother and baby success story. She's proved to be the perfect mother and allows Kai to hang out with the others, giving him the freedom he needs to develop. But at the same time, she's there when he needs her. But not every aspect of motherhood has come naturally. When Kai was little, it took her some time to master the art of carrying him around and climbing at the same time. And now that Kai's 4 years old, he's so big that she's having to learn how to carry him all over again. And she's still not very good at it. And Kai does like his rides. Later, Jeremy has positive proof that Amy is pregnant, but quite how it happened is a mystery.
Amy is the greediest animal in the world, so not taking her pill, I don't buy that.
And Hsiao-Quai needs time out from toddler Kai. It's been a busy day for animal manager Jeremy as he tries to cope with the aftermath of Ben's introduction to alpha male Hananya. Ben sustained a nasty wound and has refused to let Jeremy glue it back together. So Monkey World's vet is going to anaesthetise Ben and stitch it together instead.
I'll stitch it up quickly. So hopefully it can be a quick job and he'll be awake and with Pip again, happy, running about.
It's always worth having a shot at doing what you can without anaesthetising, with all the risks involved with anaesthesia. And even if it doesn't work, it's got to be worth a try. So that's what we've done now, and it didn't work, so we do think it's worth suturing this. Femke's just going to repair the wound, and then he should be back to normal.
If Ben was living in the wild, his wound would probably heal naturally. But in the heat of the African tropics, there's a high risk of infection, which could be life-threatening. Luckily, this is not something Ben needs to worry about. With Ben repaired, he'll be given a reversal to bring him around from the sedation, and then Pip will be let in to join him.
Let's put him in a recovery position a bit more.
Integrating chimps can be a long process, and the team aren't ready to give up on Hananya and Ben just yet.
We still want to try and get Ben and Pip into Hananya's group, and we certainly won't give up on that. We will need to change tactic, and obviously we'll all get together later on and talk about the best way to do it. Probably it's going to need to be in a smaller area, maybe just Ben and Hananya initially, some contact through the mesh, and some work with the keepers reinforcing any positive behaviours that we see from Hananya until we feel they're ready to actually meet again.
And Jeremy's already giving Ben some tips for the next meeting.
You're going to give him a good duffing up next time, aren't you? You just lulled him into a false sense of security, and then you're going to take him out next time, aren't you? You're going to give him some of this, yeah?
Back over at the orangutan enclosure, Hsiao-Quai has finally got away from her toddler for a much-needed break. While Kai's off bothering some of the other inhabitants of the enclosure, his mum's decided that she's not too old for a bit of messing about too. Hsiao-Quai was the park's first orangutan to successfully raise a youngster. And she's a great mother. But just occasionally, she gets to show that she's got another side. Especially when she gets to hang out with her old pal, Gordon. The two have been friends for years and enjoyed each other's company long before Kai was around. Even when he was a baby, Hsiao-Quai and Gordon still found time to have fun together. But now Kai is growing up and old enough to keep himself amused, the old friends can spend much more quality time in one another's company. And that means plenty more wrestling. But while Hsiao-Quai is getting her life back, Amy's is about to be put on hold. Amy is pregnant.
Here we got it. Good girl. See here, that there, there's little swellings there, say that she's pregnant. And they really are foolproof, 100%. She's got the swellings, she's pregnant. Apparently all primates, maybe even all mammals, have the equivalent of that, but orangutans wear it externally. So even humans have the equivalent of that, but the orangutans are the only chaps that I know of anyway, that wear it externally like that, and that is the 100% giveaway that she's pregnant, as well as being ugly.
Like several of the female orangutans at the park, Amy was on the human contraceptive pill, so her pregnancy is a bit of a surprise.
Amy is the greediest animal in the world, so not taking her pill, I don't buy that, because she'd eat her own pill and everybody else is having got the opportunity. I can only think that the human birth control pill is more specific to humans now and didn't work for Amy, I don't know. Also, we do the 3 weeks on, 1 week off, the same as what a human would do, so that they can have the natural cycle. I don't know, we learn.
Jeremy has noticed that Amy isn't just showing physical signs of pregnancy, but that her behaviour has changed too.
I always think that with anything hormonal, orangs are like a caricature of humans. Everything that you think of a human doing and everybody has a laugh about, orangs are like multiply that by 100, and they really are like just some cartoon caricature of a pregnant woman. And I mean, Amy's doing it now. She doesn't like the morning, and she didn't want to speak to me this morning, didn't want to speak to anybody, in fact.
And Jeremy will have to get used to that touchy temperament, as the gestation period for orangutans is 8.5 months long. But despite all the good signs, Jeremy's concerned about the future. Sadly, Amy isn't a natural mother, and this will actually be her 4th baby. Her only surviving infant, Gordon, had to be hand-reared 10 years ago, and Jeremy doubts she'll raise her baby this time around.
I would wage my house that Amy would not rear her own baby. Her mother was exactly the same, and she had, yes, your mother. Yeah, she had 3 babies, and not one did she look after. And Amy's gone down exactly the same route. In fact, Amy's worse. Amy just doesn't want to know, get this thing away from me. So we will see. I mean, if she has the baby and holds it nicely and looks like she's going to feed it, then of course we'll give it a chance.
But will Amy? Only time will tell if her mothering instincts will prevail. Next time, woolly monkey baby Paolo gets to visit his half-brother Julio.
Julio has really taken this guy under his wing.
Paddy's group invent a new sport: banana fishing. And Alison and Jeremy have their work cut out, catching a pair of Capuchin monkeys from Hertfordshire.
These people are aware that they're no longer able to care for them as best they'd like. They end up with us.
This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life. He may be a big, tough alpha male, but when it comes to needles, Hananya shows another side to his character.
It's funny, actually, because Hananya's a bit of a wimp. Good boy.
The chimps go bananas. And Alison and Jeremy are in Hertfordshire to rehome 2 small monkeys.
Caesar. These people are aware that they're no longer able to care for them as best they'd like. They end up with us.
Monkey World is home to 10 rare woolly monkeys. 2 of these were hand-reared by the keepers when their mothers rejected them at birth. Four-month-old Paolo is the second hand-reared baby, and it will soon be time for him to move back in with his own kind. But first, Keeper Mike wants to give him a sneak preview of what's in store.
He's been coming down for a few days, and today he's having another little visit. We'll be doing it over maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and then at the end of that, little boy here, who's actually getting quite a big boy, can be living full-time with the woolly monkeys. I mean, he really is ready to be in with the monkeys and weaned off human beings, as it were. He's quite a big, fit boy.
Reintegrating hand-reared primates with their own kind can be difficult, so Mike and Alison have been taking Paolo on regular visits to socialise with another woolly youngster, his half-brother Julio.
Oh, Julio's eating the microphone.
The team hope that it will prepare him for the day he moves in with woolly monkeys full-time.
Look at this.
And it's been going really well, but Paolo and Julio aren't going to stay together.
Good boy.
In the wild, woolly monkeys live in large social groups, and to avoid inbreeding, the males move between families. So to replicate this natural behaviour, the team are moving Paolo to the park's other woolly monkey troop. And the initial signs look good, as high-ranking female, Yarima, and her baby, Inca, seem at ease with Paolo.
All quite happy to see him. They could just come over, have a quick hello and wander off again, so there's no big deal. And they're all used to little babies. They've all had youngsters around them. And as Urima's got her own little baby there, it should be lovely to see him growing up with Urima's little ones.
It's still early days, but the future looks promising for Paolo and his new woolly monkey family. Coming up, Paddy's chimps go banana fishing. And Jeremy and Alison have got their work cut out. Catching a pair of Capuchin monkeys in Hertfordshire. Over at Paddy's chimp troop, they're being served up one of their favourite treats, frozen bananas. As expected, keeper Andy gets a noisy reception. Frozen bananas are very special, so everyone's out to get their share and not one goes to waste. Not even if they've landed in the pond. But high-ranking Cindy isn't going to get herself all wet. She's got a much better idea. Use a twig to help her fish out the bananas. In the wild, chimps make tools out of sticks or grasses to get at food that's hard to reach. Back at the park, Cindy's not the only one who's fishing. 16-year-old Kay has come up with the same idea, although she still hasn't quite mastered her technique and is pushing the bananas deeper into the pond. But the bananas aren't Cindy's just yet. It looks like there's a more serious contender for the title of top banana fisher. 25-year-old Zoe, who's got a very solid-looking stick. But Cindy's got a plan. Nick Zoe's stick. Like any good fisherman, Cindy knows that you're only as good as your tackle. And Zoe's stick is perfect. And so is the banana. Monkey World is home to the largest collection of golden-cheeked gibbons outside of Asia. They're an endangered species, so breeding is vitally important. And today, there's an exciting development for Zoe and Jake.
We think Zoe's getting a bit tubby in places. We're seeing some changes in her behaviour, so I've waved the flag and I said I think she may well be pregnant.
Everyone at the park is thrilled because there have been a lot of problems getting the gibbon pairs to bond. When Raphael and Alex were introduced, it went wrong almost immediately.
The day we opened the slider, he decided that he was felt under threat, and unfortunately he did a lot of damage to her arm.
Fortunately, Zoe and Jake hit it off straight away, and now it looks like there might be a baby on the way. But finding out if a gibbon is pregnant isn't easy because their menstrual cycle is hard to track. Luckily, there are other clues. Just like pregnant humans, pregnant gibbons can get hormonal too.
She has some mood swings every now and again. It can be very up and down with our Zoe. So we've been seeing if there's any correlation to that. Is she moody? Is she premenstrual? So, fingers crossed, she could well be a couple of months pregnant.
It's always exciting when there's news of a pregnancy, and with numbers of golden-cheeked gibbons decreasing in the wild, it's fantastic timing.
Gibbons are pregnant for around 7.5 months, so we've got a little way to go, we think, for the moment. Nothing we can do. She's a healthy gibbon. There's nothing wrong with her. As long as she doesn't show any signs of any problems, we'll just treat her absolutely as normal.
Now all Wendy can do is watch and wait to see what's in store for the happy couple. Last week, Monkey World rescued 88 capuchins from a laboratory in Chile, boosting population numbers at the park from 4 to 92. But, as if that isn't enough, Animal Director Jeremy has travelled with Alison to Hertfordshire on a mission to rehome 2 more.
Okay.
Their current owners are getting too old to care for them.
It's quite nice.
Over the last 14 years, the park has rescued and rehomed a staggering 30 small monkeys from the British pet trade. Often from terrible conditions.
Every year we get numerous requests to rehome capuchin monkeys, usually because people have bought them not realizing sort of what duty of care they have, and then find that the animals either become sick, unwell, aggressive, so we end up finding, individuals like TJ in cold wooden sheds, or Gizmo also in a cold, damp wooden shed who's, eaten away half of his tail, or Sinbad who's in a pet shop that's a hellhole and a bomb site. I don't believe that primates make good pets. They're wild animals. It's a huge amount of money to provide the proper facilities, to have heated indoor areas, large natural outdoor areas. Yeah, of course.
But for once, they're pleasantly surprised.
So they had full run of this outside area, summer and winter?
Summer and winter, yeah.
Great.
Sadly, pet owners often underestimate their monkeys' needs, leading to cases of neglect and cruelty. But this isn't the case here.
This situation is perfect. They're in a social group. The facilities are good. The people care about them. They get wonderful food and have been receiving vet care from the local zoo. So it's not been too bad a scenario here, but nonetheless, these people are aware that they're no longer able to care for them as best they'd like because they've gotten old and the monkeys are long-lived. They end up with us.
Jeremy's got the job of capturing 2 well-looked-after, healthy, happy capuchins, and they just don't want to meet Jeremy's big net. First up is Caesar.
Twist it, twist it!
It may all sound a bit traumatic, but this is the least stressful way to catch him.
9 out of 10 times you're better off just quickly going and grabbing rather than trying to dart, muck about and stuff. It's often far more stressful than just quickly wham-bam.
With Caesar safely inside the travel box, it's Phoebe's turn to try and avoid Jeremy's net.
All right, Phoebe.
But he's a dab hand and catches her first time. With the hard work over, Alison's already making plans for when they arrive back in Dorset.
This is going to have to be a really actually quite swift, quick visit because Jeremy and I want to get the monkeys in the car, get them back down to the park, and hopefully get the female Phoebe straight in with now our 67 females at the house straight away because it'll be early enough in the day. I think we'll have to hold off and wait until doing his introductions until tomorrow.
Moving to Monkey World will be a major adjustment for 19-year-old Phoebe and Caesar because they've never lived with other capuchins. And over the next few days, they will have 92 new housemates to get to know. At Monkey World, Alison and Jeremy are back from Hertfordshire with capuchins, Caesar and Phoebe. After their 3-hour journey, the team are keen to get both of the new recruits indoors as quickly as possible. Caesar will be put in an enclosure by himself, next to the 22 bachelors from Chile.
We'll just release this young gentleman into a bedroom on his own for the moment. We're not going to do any introductions with him today. Let him settle down there for a while, and then we're going to get on and put Phoebe, the female, in with our group of females now. So that's the next job.
Oh no, just go. There you go. We've just let Phoebe, the new Capuchin, in with what's now 67 females in this house. So obviously she's a little bit upset because this is the first time out of the cage that she's lived in all of her life. We just need to decide when's the best time to open it up and put her in amongst everybody else now. So probably give her a few minutes and then open it up. What do you reckon? Let him through?
Yeah, well.
Go for it.
The atmosphere seems calm, but as the slide is opened, nobody knows how well the introduction will go.
Oh, there we go. Somebody's been brave enough.
Phoebe takes a few steps out of the bedroom, and some of the females seem intrigued to meet their new housemate.
We've got this youngster that's paying quite a bit of interest, and she's nervous but not approaching, which is a good sign. So it will take her a little while. It must be absolutely overwhelming to come into such a large area of all these capuchins that she's never seen in all her life. But it's only been about 10 minutes, so we'll see how she goes.
Slowly, everyone's beginning to show an interest in the newcomer. But the politics of an all-female group like this are complex. It may take Phoebe some time to find her place. But keeper Hannah is on hand, just in case she's needed. Later, an unusually calm atmosphere descends over the bachelors as they get their favourite treat. And just how do you gain the trust of a chimp who has the strength of 6 men?
It's a really challenging and rewarding part of the job and shown us how much they can learn to trust us.
On the other side of the park, the Bachelor Boys' enclosure is strangely quiet. What could possibly have caused such a character change in the rowdiest residents of Monkey World? It's their turn for the frozen bananas. Just like Paddy's troop, the bachelors know how rare these treats are, and they've all got their own individual approaches to tackling them. For Paco, speed is the trick. Eat as many as you can, as quickly as you can. He's a high-ranking chimp, so the other bachelors are happy to let him. They show him respect by offering their hand or bottom as a submissive gesture. Sammy has got a different method to Paco. Simply grab as many as you can and hide. And here's new boy, Seamus. He's still refining his method. Pile them high and hope you don't have to share. When he first arrived, getting his hands on anything at mealtimes proved difficult, so it's great to see Seamus getting some bananas, even if it's not quite as many as the others. It's amazing how a simple box of frozen bananas can turn a bunch of loud, obnoxious, thuggish boys into a cool, calm, collected group of friends. Over at Hananya's chimp troop, head keeper Cara and Kate are taking part in a Monkey World first for the chimps. They are training them to accept injections from the keepers. Medicating any primates can be demanding and dangerous. The most risky is giving anaesthetic by darting, and the park only does this when absolutely necessary.
There are times where you have to anaesthetise an animal for a health check, for an ultrasound, to stitch up a wound. And obviously we found that darting an animal was one of the most stressful situations.
I don't think she had all of that, but it was not a bad shot.
This is a worrying and difficult procedure for both the primate and the keeper, so they're using a new method to overcome the problem.
And so we wanted to find a way that would allow us to inject the chimpanzees in a more cooperative way, where they were happy and they knew what was happening and it was on their terms and at their pace.
It's taken over a year to get to this stage. Firstly, the chimps had to learn to present their shoulder, then accept the needle touching their skin, and finally allow the injection.
Good girl. So you see, she was fine there and didn't really react. A bit of a rub on the shoulder after the needle had been pulled out. We take it very slow and steady, so the animal knows exactly what to expect and exactly what's involved and what's expected of them.
the syringe is just filled with harmless, sterile water, but one day this might be a life-saving procedure for the chimps. This form of training really shows how much the chimps trust their keepers, but some clearly trust the keepers more than others.
One of the things we learned was the inconsistency with the animals. We imagined that they would just progress slowly, but actually with some of them, sometimes they're very good, other times they're not so good, and Shamak's one of those. Sometimes he responds really well, other times he's much more flinchy. Maybe Shamak's a bit of a wimp and his...
Oh boy. Go there and
his pain threshold is a bit lower, but you can see you get there in the end with him. It's been amazing watching them and how they've responded to the training.
And one after another, they line up to take their jabs with barely a complaint. Last up, it's the alpha male, Hananya, surely the toughest of the bunch.
It's funny actually, because Hananya's a bit of a wimp. Good boy.
And even he manages it in the end. It's amazing what lengths chimps are willing to go to get a banana. Back over in the Bachelor chimp group, the frozen bananas are long gone, and the boys are back to their old selves. And it's the leader, Butch, whose job it is to keep everyone in line. In the wild, it's the role of the alpha male to keep the other members of his troop in order, and the position of alpha male is never an easy one. There are always others who are interested in the job, and recently, 17-year-old Paco has been challenging Butch's position. But Butch is no fool. He knows how to keep order. One of his tricks is to make friends with some of the biggest chimps in the troop. When he needs a job doing, they're always ready to step in and make sure it's done properly. But it's Butch's unpredictability and impressive shows of strength that really help him maintain his leadership. So when Paco started to display in a challenge to Butch, the group had a choice. And by seeing Paco off, they backed Butch. Large male chimps like to show their strength, and nowadays, as soon as Paco begins his outbursts, Butch is right there to nip it in the bud. And when he's not around, the whole group step in. It's in a male chimp's nature to display, but Paco's calming down. He doesn't seem as bothered about challenging for leadership anymore. He's learnt that you don't have to be the boss to get your fair share at mealtimes, if you're one of the biggest. And as there are no females to get excited about, Paco may have realised there's not that much worth shouting about after all. Next time, TJ joins the other Capuchin monkey males, but he's looking for trouble.
I think he's about to start a fight. Look at him, he's just desperate to start a fight.
A couple of old friends fall out, and Paddy has to step in before it gets nasty. And in Hananya's house, it's teeth cleaning time.
Obviously their first reaction is to want to grab the toothbrush.